All right. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me on another great episode of your favorite political talk show, The Truth with Ben Jokes. Now, in the last 1 week, Nigerians have heard and are still hearing a lot of direct and indirect talks from prominent men and political elites regarding the proposed nationwide revolutionary protest. We have seen some paid statesmen trying to persuade Nigerians to shun the protest. Even some so-called clerics have tried. And yesterday, the Oba of Lagos also tried, to tell Nigerians to be patient and that they should be praying for Tinubu instead of protesting. But young Nigerians came upon him and they cursed him. The poverty in Nigeria right now is overwhelming, and I'm still wondering how things are going to be around the lean season, September and October, when the United Nations Food Program predicted that hunger in Nigeria will reach alarming rates, as if it is not already at an alarming rate. So I'm wondering how it will be then. And this is why the people of this country must not miss this opportunity to shake the government. And if they roll out the military, the people should demand their resignation. Because this country belongs to all of us. Nobody can personalize it. But of all the takes I have heard from political elites, the words of APC chairman Abdullahi Ganduje that came out a few hours ago shocked me the most. Ganduje, in his recent speech, has said something that I have to agree with. And his speech, if well digested, will add more fuel to the already burning fire of protesters. This speech should make protesters angrier and go all out. Ganduje, in this speech, practically told poor Nigerians that they are the ones allowing they, who are corrupt politicians, to thrive. And he also slammed INEC and other institutions for corruption. Before I show you what he said and how Nigerians reacted, let me quickly show you this video that further reveals the joke that we call democracy and governance in this country. See the video.
The National Assembly has a habit, it's their work. But they have a
oversight function.
Yes, it's their work, but they have a habit of forming committees to investigate incidences of grand corruption, of this amount is made, or NNPC paid X amount, or this has disappeared. Now, from 1999 till date, we collated 613 of such report cases of committees up to 2023. We have not even started this year now. And out of those 619, not even 3 have been concluded. So why are you forming committees, investigative reports? We have not seen the outcome of that report. We don't know whether monies have been refunded. We don't know whether anybody has been prosecuted. And every day we see them on TV threatening, oh, if this minister doesn't come, we are going to indict him. If he doesn't come, this will happen.
We're going to issue warrant of arrest.
Thank you. He now comes. Before you know it, they go into closed session and we don't hear an outcome. We as the center, we are just demanding for transparency. It's possible after the investigation. Monies were not missing, but we'd like to know. You cannot constitute 600 committees with taxpayers' funds and no outcome. And every day you are doing it. So there is this speculation that it's a trading platform. Yeah, and the media is part of the problem, honestly, in this case, because we like sensationalism. So once we come, oh, the headline makes 15 billion, 150 billion, there's that noise, then we'll go back to sleep. What we're supposed to look out for, the outcome. Because it's possible the money was missed, but what happened during the proceedings? We watch TV in other countries. All these things are even public. You do them in the public. So there's no need for closed-door meeting. Meanwhile, even if you want to do closed-door, after you are finished, just a report. They should release a report of the outcome. You cannot have, as a country or as a National Assembly, 600 probes with no outcome of just 1 or 2. And even the 1 or 2, they were not concluded, They said they've released...
Conclusively concluded?
No, yes, not even one. I think it's embarrassing for any organization with that kind of result,
You heard that. Yet, when someone calls Nigeria a zoo, some will say he should come and apologize to them. 613 committees, only 3 actually looked into the merit of the matter. And even then, they didn't reach a conclusion. We are talking about the National Assembly of a country here acting so irresponsibly. So they spend billions of naira to form committees, and after 2 to 3 meetings, that's the end. The matters are swept under the carpet. Money has been made. That's what they do with our treasury. That is why Nigerians must rise to put an end to the status quo, because things will never get better on this present path. What we have now is just people pretending to be working, people pretending to be occupying offices, bearing names, while they are actually members of a group that have direct access to the nation's treasury. We can't call this governance. Point blank, period. Now, let us look at that sensational speech by APC chairman Abdullahi Ganduje, where he accepted the corruption of politicians like himself, but also slammed INEC and the poor in Nigeria for enabling them. Look at how the papers reported it. Ganduje blames poor people, INEC, for corruption in Nigeria. Former Governor Abdullahi Ganduje and Bishop Matthew Kuka, the founder of the Kuka Center, have attributed political corruption to dishonest poor Nigerians, INEC, and other institutions. Mr. Ganduje insisted that blaming politicians and public office holders will not solve the problem of weak institutions in Nigeria. This was stated at a high-level meeting with national executives of political parties and other stakeholders on Tuesday in Abuja, organized by TKC. Mr. Ganduje, who is roiled in a corruption case in Kano, said the major problem we have in Nigeria is that of weak institutions, because we are just going on an atrocious circle. Unless we break that circle and make our institutions strong, we are just blaming the politicians. Political parties are also weak, and because of that weakness, corruption thrives. The APC chair added, let us not be blaming the politicians, office holders, those who win elections. Yes, we blame them, but let us look at the security system, the Independent National Electoral Commission that oversees the election. These institutions man the polling booths. So tell me, can you win an election free? Even the poor man is not honest. If we are to go into details of what happens practically, you will see voters saying they cannot vote until they are paid. Mr. Kuka moderated a panel session calling for learning from past mistakes and then building on them for stronger institutions and democracy in Nigeria through some processes. He said, whether it is the judiciary or bureaucracy, all is work in progress. And the most important thing is for us to learn the mistakes of the past and then develop the mechanism of ensuring that things don't continue to repeat themselves. So Ganduje is telling the people that we cannot blame the politicians alone. And it is true. He said some people will say they will not vote until you pay them. If you ask them why, they'll say when they get into office, they'll go and do what they like. So let me collect my own money now. If you know that these guys will not perform well when they get into office, why not hold them responsible? Don't you have the number? That is what Ganduje is indirectly telling the people here. He might not mean it that way, but that is what this statement means. That everything lies in the hands of the people. And that is what we have been saying here. And look at how Nigerians reacted. Look at some of the tweet reactions. This tweet by Truth Talker says he is indirectly telling poor people that they have to protest. That is what he's saying. Because he's saying that institutions are weak. How will institutions be strong if the people don't rise up? He has clearly told us that INEC is corrupt. So what are the people waiting for? And this tweet here says we should blame INEC for this rubbish. A contestant fails election, but INEC forcefully brings him. Ganduje, thank you. We are heading to the streets. Let's know who you are. That is it. This kind of message should spur the protesters on more. Imagine what the APC chairman is saying. And I commend Ganduje for once saying the truth in his life. And this tweet here by Vibe says, not the government, not the APC, not corrupt leaders and public officials. It is the masses. I completely agree. If the masses lynched corrupt officials like they did petty thieves, no one would dare think of stealing a penny. Just imagine it. That is it. And this tweet by What If says he is absolutely right. Who are the people who should have hit the streets when they saw a public office holder stealing bundles of dollars? Who are the people who allow compromised individuals into public office? It is the people. And this tweet here says, Ganduje is absolutely correct. Imagine if INEC refused bribe from politicians to subvert the will of the masses. Also imagine if the poor people carried out jungle justice on politicians, just as they do with petty thieves. Nigeria would actually be less corrupt. That is the whole truth. And I am very happy that these words are coming out of the mouth of Ganduje, particularly this period that Nigerians are gearing up for a nationwide protest. The man is telling us that yes, they politicians are corrupt, but we the people are the ones who enable them, that we need stronger institutions. And who are the people that will fix these institutions? It is Nigerians, because it is Nigerians that occupy those offices in the first place. And that is what I keep saying here. It is almost impossible for a Nigerian politician to perform in this present system, knowing fully well that whatever you do, you can get away with it. Any money that is given to you, you can steal it and the people will not react. How do you expect a politician to perform? It is the same thing Ganduje is saying. You come to the polling unit for election, you say, give me my 10,000 naira. I know that this is the one you give me. If you get into office now, we will not hear from you again. Imagine what you are saying with your own mouth. When you have the power to make sure that the man does right, you decided to relinquish your power so that he can oppress you. What a shame. Nigerians must snap out of this foolishness and be prepared to take their country back. What do they have to do? Unite. Cast aside your sentiments, put your foot down and demand a better nation. But until then, make I still enter town. Make I go get some ogbonge political news wey una go like. Why? Because of una. Now I dey here, so don't go away. Don't go.